Hello.
Good evening.
Welcome to Testimony Tuesday.
Yes. We're back
We
again.
are back again. We are
Yes.
super excited
Amen.
that you all are joining us on today, whether you are watching now for the first time or whether you're watching the replay. Welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you for
tag,
joining
and share.
us. Like, tag, and share. We
Yeah.
have an awesome
Yes.
testimony
Absolutely.
today of God's goodness
From an awesome individual.
from an awesome individual.
Yeah.
That is absolutely right.
Yes.
So we are excited on tonight. We always start off by first, I want to just say we're praying for families of the bereaved families. So families who have suffered loss. There are quite a few in this week again.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm saying this every week, and it's always somebody that you know. And so we want to continue to pray for those families. We want to pray for those who are in the hospital. I know Monique Nelson Terry, I think is her correct name, but her son is in the hospital. And so we want to continue to pray for her, pray for her son and his recovery. And I was glad to see her post the other day that I think they had maybe taken him outside or something. Such a blessing. And so just been praying for him anyway.
Right.
I don't know the young man, but been praying for him. And so just want to continue to pray for those families also who have suffered loss, and a special prayer for my mom who goes into surgery on tomorrow.
Yes.
Whew, we are just going to pray. The Lord just handles everything. He's going to do it.
He'll do it again.
And he did it before.
Yes,
so he is definitely going to do it again. And
no
so
sad story to tell.
No sad stories to tell. So guys, if you join us in prayer on tomorrow as we go into prayer for her as she's having surgery on tomorrow. But we're going to jump right in. Hello, Nita.
Hi, sister.
Hello. Hey, Miss Alice. How are you?
This night, we see you.
Hello, Mother.
Hey, Mother Spy. Lord, she ain't Mother Spy no more. I just call she just always, hey, Mother Night. I love you. Absolutely. Hey, Miss Karen. Thank you for joining us on tonight. We are super excited
Send Ramona
that you all are joining us on tonight. June has to step away for a second, but we are super excited that you are joining us on tonight. And we always start off our Testimony Tuesday by our scripture, which is Revelations 12, 10, and 11. And it says, and I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength and the kingdom of our God and the power of his Christ. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our God day and night, and they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto death. So guys, there is power in the testimony.
Amen. It is.
And so that is ultimately what we get. Hey, Kel. Hello. Hey, Keela. Hey, Kierica. Did I say that right?
Yes.
I don't know why I felt, because I always call it Kiki. So when I say Kierica, it just sounded so funny. Hey, Miss Jackie. Hey, Miss Shirley. How are you? We are praying for your grandbaby, Miss Shirley.
Yes.
Yes. So we are super excited. And so I'm going to not prolong it any longer. June is back. We want to jump right in. We have with us on today Claudette Judkins, who I have known, I feel like, for a lifetime.
Always.
For quite a long time. We churched together for a long time.
Yes.
And so we have just become family because Kel and Abria were like just two peas in a pod.
Yes.
And so, they were just the best of the best.
Yep.
And so we're just family. So it just is what it is.
We
so
are family.
Claudette is the mother of two, Kiki and Kale.
Yes.
Phenomenal young women.
Yes, who
Yes,
I
they
love
are.
so
Those
much.
are my girls.
Right.
And she is the grandmother. You should be, yes. She is the grandmother of two sweet babies. Sweet Lauren, who I love. I'm telling you that Lauren is my dance partner.
She is everybody's
So
friend.
Look, I have to say, I have some unreleased footage of me and Lauren doing some TikToks. And so,
Well, so do I.
I just haven't released it yet. I don't know. I'm ready, but she was ready. And she
Yes.
was getting it,
Yes.
as always.
As
But
always.
I just haven't released it yet. And then we have our sweet baby. I just call her Angel London.
Yes, London.
Yes. And one thing that I can tell you about Claudette, and this is just her motto too. Most of all, she loves God. She just loves the Lord.
Yes.
So that is her thing. And so we are happy to have you on tonight.
I'm glad to be here. Glad to be here.
Yes.
So, Claudette, take us to April 2015 and walk us through that journey of yours.
Okay.
Hey, Sonia.
So I started off, I'm going to start off in March of 2015.
Okay.
What happened was I felt like food actually became my enemy.
Wow.
Yeah, food became my enemy to me because when I ate, it started off slow, but when I ate, it made my stomach hurt. And I have a very high tolerance for pain. So I didn't think anything of it. It made my stomach hurt, but I continued to go on. As the weeks went by, the more I ate, the worse it made my stomach feel.
Wow.
And once it started hurting, and then my bowels began to change. And when I said it, I began to be constipated.
Right.
And if I had a bowel movement, it was very little.
Yeah.
So I decided to tell my sister.
Okay.
I mentioned it to my sister, and because we have a high tolerance for pain, I didn't go to the doctor. I thought maybe I can buy something over the counter,
right,
and make it stop hurting. That went on for about another week.
Okay.
Until one morning I woke up, getting ready for work, and I felt so bad, but I hadn't ate anything. I was very fatigued, very tired, but I still thought if I get to work, get going with my day, I will feel better. So I went to work, moving real slow. And as I was there, I don't know how I was reacting because everybody was coming to my desk. Are you okay? Are you okay?
Wow.
I'm fine. Until finally my boss came to my desk. She came to my desk and she told me, you need to go home.
Wow.
And that's when I got in my car and I felt so bad. I thought, let me just go to urgent care. Maybe they can give me a prescription, something for my stomach. Let me just go to urgent care. So what I did was I Googled the nearest urgent care around my job. I went to the urgent care. I told them what was going on. They took me to the back. While I was back there, they do the normal routine, blood pressure, weight, height. They drew blood and they did a CAT scan.
Okay.
I'm in the back waiting for them to come back in. And when they came back in, the doctor came in and a nurse came in. And they was looking at me and they told me, I didn't tell anyone that I was going to urgent care. I drove there on my own. So when they came in, they said, we got your blood test back and the CAT scan. They said your blood cells is real high. And they said, we see on the CAT scan an abscess on your intestines, and there's a small hole on your intestines that is leaking back into your abdominal. Fluids was leaking back into my abdominal. They said, we have to take you to Wake Med, the main Wake Med by ambulance.
Oh my God.
For an emergency surgery.
That has given me
like
chills.
That.
Woo!
Just like that. Now that's me leaving work, going to urgent care, thinking I'm gonna get a prescription. And here they come, they telling me, we're taking you to ambulance to Wake Med for emergency surgery.
Wow.
So I told them, I was like, well, I drove, my car's in the parking lot. Can I just drive there? No, you have to go by ambulance. Wow. So you can leave your car here. It'll be okay. Just let somebody come and pick it up. So I told them, okay, let me just make some phone calls to let somebody know what was going on.
Right.
I called my sister. And I told her to call our parents to let them know.
Right.
And I called Pastor Fancy.
Yes.
And all of them met me over at Wake Med. I went by ambulance.
Yes.
But when we got there, when I finally got there and the doctor saw me, the doctor actually decided not to do that emergency surgery. He decided to put me on very strong antibiotics. And he said that should seal that hole up and take care of the abscess.
Okay.
So they admitted me that night. My sister stayed with me and they put me on ice. That's all I could have.
Right.
I remember the nurse would come in, they would have the ice there. The nurse would come in and pour the water out the ice because I couldn't drink the water.
Wow.
I could only eat the ice.
Yeah.
I did that for about a week.
Wow.
Just eating ice for about a week. And they kept, with this strong antibiotics. And then they tried to introduce me to liquids, like broth.
Yeah.
So when I took that, my body would go out of whack again. So they had to take me back off and put me back on ice. I did that for about 3 days. And then they brought the liquids back. And my body accepted the liquids. So then they wanted to start with soft foods. So I was able to maintain the soft foods. So about another week, I stayed in Wake Med for about 2 weeks. And they said that I was accepting the food. The hole had sealed up and the abscess, had left. So they discharged me. They discharged me and said I had diverticulitis. And with the abscess and the hole that was on the discharge paper. The diverticulitis is what caused that.
Right.
So he did say, I'm going to do a referral for you to do a colonoscopy. Back then, I wasn't 50, so you couldn't just go and do a colonoscopy, but he did a referral for me to do a colonoscopy. So a week later, I remember my mama took me to do the colonoscopy. And when I went to the back, once they take you to the recovery room, and I came to, and they said, well, in the process of us doing the colonoscopy, we could not go all the way up. There was a blockage. So we had to stop. They said, we're going to take it and do tests on it to see what it is. I'm not thinking anything of it. I'm thinking my life is going back to normal.
Yeah.
Diverticulitis is under control. Everything will be fine. So I went home. I went to work, and about a week later, I'm at the office, and it's only two of us there at this time. And my cell phone rings. It was Wake Med. The nurse at Wake Med, it was a male nurse, and he called, and he was like, we need for you to come in. The doctor wants to see you. And I said, okay, I'm at work right now. Get off at 5:00, and I will be over there. He said, no, you need to come now.
Wow.
He said that we will give you a note to give to your job. So I let the person know who was at the office, I need to run to Wake Med, but it didn't sound, it was red flag. So I called my sister again, asked her what she was doing, and asked her if she could meet me at Wake Med. I said, something don't sound right. They're ready to see me now. So could you meet me over there? So she met me at Wake Med. When I went there and I told them what my name was, they didn't even let me sit in the lobby. They took me straight to the back.
Wow.
And I remember you saying something about going into that room.
Yes.
I went into a room. I went into a room. So me and my sister was sitting there, and the doctor came in, his assistant came in, and he told me they took the information from the colonoscopy. They got everything back that they need the results back. He said, it do look like there's a tumor in your intestines, and it do look like it's cancer. And from there, I didn't hear anything else. You Charlie Brown with the teacher, wah, wah, wah. That's all I heard after that.
Wow.
They left out, and I looked over at my sister, and I said, did he just say what I think he said? And she said, yeah, you heard him right. So when they came back in, they had papers, folders, needed me to sign. They said, we already done sent all of your stuff to UNC Chapel Hill. We need you to sign these papers, and we already made your appointment. They said we need for you to go because we need to get on this now. So I went on my appointment day to Chapel Hill. They sent everything to Chapel Hill. So when I got to Chapel Hill, we were sitting in the room. They introduced me to, well, before that, when they told me that it looked like cancer on my way home that day, I was like, okay, Lord, what is really going on, Lord?
Right.
I mean, I know what they're saying, but I'm going to trust you.
Yes.
I'm going to trust you with this process.
Yes.
And I was thinking, I was like, well, how am I going to tell my girls?
Yes.
How am I going to tell my girls that, you know, that I have cancer? Because they knew that my stomach had been hurting. They knew that, but to tell them that I had cancer was a whole different,
Yes.
that was a whole different thing. So I remember going home and Kale was at my house and we FaceTimed Kiki. She was in Greensboro. And when I told them, that was one of the hardest things that I had to do was to tell them
Yes.
about cancer. So once I told them, and I ended up calling other people to tell them what the doctor had, what they had saw, and we went to Chapel Hill for that appointment. That appointment, they had to introduce me to all different teams. I had a radiology team, a chemotherapy team, all the teams, and they was telling me how they was going to treat the cancer. He also told me that they had to go ahead and start soon because I was at stage 3.
Wow.
And colorectal cancer is only stage 4.
Yeah.
So I was at stage 3, and I'm a visual person. So what they did was they drew a picture of my intestines, and he said, your intestines in one part is like an apple core. That's what they did it to.
Yeah.
So the top was open, in the middle it was closed in, the bottom was open. So that's why I couldn't have a bowel movement, because that tumor was blocking it.
Yeah.
So my first surgery I had to get a ileostomy bag. And that was to bypass so I could have a bowel movement because it was blocking.
Right.
So it was backed up.
Right.
So that was one of the hardest things that I had to do.
Yeah.
Because I had seen them before, but never experienced that before. Yeah. So I had to do that surgery, and they ended up putting the bag on. And I had the bag. They had to teach me how to use the bag, teach me how to change the bag, put ointment around the bag, so it won't get infected. So I wore that bag, and a lot of people didn't know.
Right.
But my confidence was very low with that bag.
Yeah.
But I was still trusting God.
Yes.
Every step of the way, I was still trusting God. So I had to start radiation. And I went to radiation, and I did that for about 8 weeks. I had to go every day, 5 days a week. I had to go to Chapel Hill for radiation every day. So we had like a little rotation system going on. My sister would take me, my mom would take me, Pastor Fowler would take me, Apostle Carr would take me, and they would just rotate taking me every day. Saturday and Sundays, I didn't have to go. So because I had so much radiation, I got burnt because it burned. Yeah. So they gave me ointment, and I had to sit on a pillow because it was hard to sit down. So I did the ointment and the pillow during the radiation. And they also started me on chemo pills. So I had to do the chemo pills while doing radiation. So I was doing 12 pills a day. Wow. So those 12 pills, the type of pills that I had, mind you, this is in the winter, it's cold. Yeah. The pills that I had, I couldn't be exposed to cold weather. Wow. I had to drink, my liquids had to be room temperature. I couldn't have ice. I couldn't have ice cream. When I went to the refrigerator, I had to put gloves on because it was cold. Yeah. So I couldn't touch anything cold. When I went out, I had to make sure I was wrapped extra because I couldn't be exposed to cold weather while I was on the pills. It also like turn your hands black, your tongue black, and I had a tingling at all times in my hand and feet.
Wow.
So I did the chemo pills while on radiation. Once I was done with radiation, they went back in, did another colonoscopy to see how much the cancer had shrunk. So once they saw that it had shrunk enough, they went in to have surgery to remove the cancer. They removed the cancer and they got all of it. But after that, I had to do the other chemo.
Right.
But they didn't put it in a port.
Okay.
They put it in my arm.
Okay.
So I had to sit there. That was about 4 hours. I had to go and they put it in my arm. But once they was done, my whole arm would numb up.
Wow.
So I couldn't move it. And that would last about 3 weeks. And it started coming back within 3 weeks. But then it was time for me to go get another chemo section.
Right.
So most of the time, my arm was numb. Most of the time. So after I finished with that chemo section, and I had after the operation, we in the recovery after the tumor, they took it out, and I had where they was catching the fluids in a little tube. The nurse came in, looked at the tube, and she said it wasn't looking right. It was looking milky. So I had developed a cow leak. And that was my lymph nodes had got damaged.
Wow.
So then I had to go on a strict low-fat diet.
Okay.
In order for that to heal up. But I do know that while I was on that diet, I actually went home, and as I was recovering, that was around my birthday. You looking for a birthday cake?
Yeah.
I couldn't have a birthday cake. I had to have low fat.
Yeah.
But I can say that everyone was so good. They was bringing me food.
Yeah.
Low fat food. They made sure that I ate what I needed to eat. And everyone was calling. And even as I was going through, I had to even going that we had that connection going. I had a good support system going. And then I had to go back to make sure that they had got all the cancer out. They did get all the cancer, and I just had to go back and have a colonoscopy to make sure that that everything was working fine. So I went through that, and that was a journey for me. But I never stopped not believing that God was going to heal my body.
Right.
I always knew because I trusted God.
Right.
And I listened at different prayers. Everyone was praying, calling, texting, to make sure I was okay. And that was fine. But I remember it's two people that I reached out to, because when we going through stuff, you want to relate to somebody else who's going through the same things you're going through.
Absolutely.
So I reached out to Sarah, and I talked to her, and she was talking to me. She encouraged me so much.
Wow.
She did tell me, I may not go through, how she went through, but she was letting me know what she did.
Right.
That helped me so much, because I knew that what she had went through, I was going through the similar. So she helped me. Anytime I called, she would answer, and she would talk me through what would happen next, And I also reached out to Teresa P.
Wow.
I reached out to her to just encourage me on what they was going through.
Right.
So I just wanted to thank everyone. Everyone was so good at helping me, making sure that I had everything that I need. I didn't want my girls to see me as, getting real sick, but I knew that at some point I couldn't hide it.
Right.
I had good days, I had bad days, but one thing, I never stopped losing focus on God. I trust God through the whole process.
Wow.
I had people telling me, talking to me, coaching me through, And I just thank God because I'm totally healed today. I'm
My
cancer
God.
free. I am cancer free.
Yes.
Wow.
To God
Wow.
To
be.
God be the glory.
Wow. And again, like we
Yes. And that is what a lot of people were saying because even as
So
I
wait,
was
let me
going-
rewind just in case I messed up this, what you were saying
Mhm.
when I clicked it off. But you are
I am cancer free.
cancer free.
Cancer free.
My
To
God.
be the glory.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Wow.
ma'am. And even as I was going through the ordeal of having cancer, Shakelle used to tell me all the time, Mom, why are you trying to do so much? Why are you doing so much? But in my mind, I couldn't just sit there.
Right.
I couldn't let cancer have me.
Right.
I couldn't sit there on it. And she used to say, well, Mom, you need to rest. You need to rest. But I couldn't sit there.
Wow.
And when I go out, a lot of people didn't know that I even had cancer because I didn't want that to be my persona. I didn't want people to know.
Right.
Even on my bad days, I knew how far I could go, but I never stopped trusting God. God kept me and is still keeping me.
Yes.
He kept me through so much.
Yes, ma'am.
And also at the time when I was going through cancer, I was the only. I'm living by myself. I don't
Right.
have any income coming in.
Wow.
And mind you, my job, I hadn't been there for too long. And when I went in to tell them that I had cancer, I went into my boss. I have two bosses, a male and a female. They are co-owners partnership. When I went in to tell them that it was cancer and I would have to be out, my lady boss took me into her office and she told me, she said, it's two things I don't want you to have to worry about. She said, one thing is, don't you worry about your job.
Wow.
You stay out as long as you want to. Your job will be here when you're done.
Oh, wow.
She said, I want you to focus on getting well.
Yes.
Your job will be here. And she said, I prayed and the Lord told me not to drop your income.
Wow.
I was getting paid just as if I was working.
Wow.
Ask
Look
me and
at
tell me
God.
God is good. God is good. He kept me because I was the only income.
Yes.
And I was worried about, okay, how's my bills getting paid? Because that don't stop.
Right.
But
Right.
she told me, you don't worry about your income. She said, I wanted to do half. I wanted to give you half. She said, but God spoke to me and said, no, you're going to give her full.
Woo.
Yes.
When I tell you.
Yes. So
who
he's
would serve
been
a
looking
God like
out.
that?
Yeah, he's been looking out for me.
Ooh-wee.
He has been looking out for me. So I didn't have to worry every month. My salary, it went in every month.
Thank you, Lord.
Every month because she said, you don't need to stress.
Yes.
And this job will not be the thing that's stressing you. Don't worry about it. We will cover you until you can come back in.
Okay, God.
Yes, Lord. Yes, yes.
Wow.
And you know,
God
and
be the glory.
yes, when you have cancer, they tell you not to stress. You
Yeah.
know, that's number one thing.
And that's probably the hardest
The
thing.
hardest thing,
Yes.
because I had other things
Right.
that was going on that
Yeah.
was taking place
Yeah.
that was trying to stress me out. But I had to keep focused. I had
Yes.
to stay focused on me and getting better.
Right.
And I just kept trusting God.
And you saw his hand.
I
You
saw
the
his
hand of
hand.
God.
Yes.
Wow.
He showed himself mighty and strong.
Yes, he did.
Mighty
Because
and
that's
strong.
who he is.
That's who he is.
Yeah.
That's who
Wow.
You know, and this is just
Wow.
an example. When you said that you talked to Sarah and Teresa, I think that's so powerful because the Lord will put, you know, sometimes we never know why we have to go through.
he is. Exactly.
And so they had been through and they were in a position to be able to help you to get through, you know, so it is.
Which is what you're doing right now to somebody else.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think even more so with your testimony, when I listen to you, it's like, it makes me start thinking like, you know, you just pay attention to your body.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
because it's speaking. And so when you have an uncomfortable feeling or something, get it checked out.
Get it checked out. No matter if you have a high tolerance for pain.
Right.
That can be a good thing, but that can also be a bad thing.
Right.
Because you don't go to the doctor when you're feeling a certain type of way.
Right.
But I encourage everyone, please go get checked out.
Absolutely.
Don't just brush it off as it may be this. Go and get checked out.
That's right.
And just trust your body and get tested. Get tested for whatever is going on. Don't just assume that you can go and get some over the counter.
Right.
Right.
Please go get checked out.
Right.
Yes.
Wow.
Man.
Yes.
I tell you.
You know, when I listened to your story, so I knew Claudia had cancer, the Lord delivered her, healed her. But this is just like, it was just, oh my God.
Yes.
Oh
yes.
my God.
Yes.
Look at God.
Yes, look at God. And it's a song that's it's an old song, but it's so true to my situation. It says, God never failed. God made it fail.
Yes.
Everything the devil tried, God made it fail.
Yes.
God
Yes.
made it fail.
Come on.
God made it fail.
Yes, he
made
did.
it fail. Everything that the
Everything.
devil tried, God made it fail.
Yes.
And that's exactly what's going on. And he's still
Yes.
making it fail.
He's
today.
still making
Wow.
it
Still
fail.
making it fail. today.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, Lord.
Yes. I love it. I
Yes.
love it.
So I thank him and I bless him. I will forever give him praise
Yes. Oh
for what
my
he's
God.
doing
Yeah.
and continue to do in
Woo.
my life. He is wonderful, awesome God.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Bishop Hassan says, "Sing."
Yeah. Look, I
And
was
I'm not a singer, but I love the Lord.
I was just about to tell Kale, all this time I thought she got her vocals from Anita, but I see where it came from.
She said, "You better sing, Mom." Absolutely, but God.
But God.
Oh my God.
He is wonderful.
Both of your babies
Yeah.
said, "Sing, Mom."
You even said, "Sing, sissy."
Yes. To
Wow.
God be the glory.
Yeah.
When I
God be the
tell
glory.
you,
Yeah.
that is a powerful, powerful testimony. And I know it just encourages my spirit. And I often say that every time we hear a testimony, that it helps. And so it just proves to me even the more, not only is God a healer, but he's a provider.
He's a
Yes.
provider.
And
Yes.
so, and he's a keeper.
He
Yes.
is a keeper.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so
He
it's
is
just
a
like
keeper.
when you're his, he gonna take care of you
He's going to take it because
Yeah.
he loves me.
because he loves
He
you.
Yes.
loves me. And I
Yes.
love him.
Yeah. One thing that's so encouraging, and we, other people that have been here as well, to know that you have a support system.
Yes. Very
And when
important.
people come together, you probably never thought that they would have to for a reason like that.
Yes.
However, that's part of your story,
It's part of my
and they
story.
showed up,
They showed
and
up.
they was
Yes.
there.
Absolutely.
They was there from the moment you made the first phone call
Absolutely.
until you got.
Until I got better. Yes.
Yes.
They were there. And I thank them. I'm grateful for everyone. Every prayer that was prayed,
Yes.
every text that was sent, every visit, every meal that was cooked.
Yes.
It was all down
Wow.
the vein. I thank and I appreciate everybody for everything.
Yes.
Everybody stood up to the plate.
To
Wow.
did
God
their
be
part.
the glory.
Yes,
Wow.
everybody
Wow.
did. And I don't have any complaints. And I thank God even for the journey.
Yes.
I thank
Yeah.
God for
Yes.
that journey. And you always wonder, God, why me? But it's a process that you go through when you're wondering why this has happened to you.
Right.
It'll be revealed in the end.
Yes. Yes.
It'll be
Yes.
revealed in the end.
I
And
believe
to
that.
help someone else, it will
Yeah.
be revealed in the end.
Absolutely.
Because I even went to the White House. I became an ambassador,
Yes.
and I went to the White House to get the bill passed for the colonoscopy to be 45 and
Yes.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, we fought for that to get
To
it passed
God be the glory.
because it starts showing up in not only 50 and over, but in lesser,
Right.
ages
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
So I became an ambassador and I traveled, giving our testimonies with different people,
Yes.
and we went to the White House to get the bill passed.
I love it.
Wow.
There is a purpose
Yes,
to everything
Wow.
we
to
go through.
everything. Yes,
You may not understand it at the time,
Right.
but there is a purpose.
There is a purpose.
Yeah. So tell us this. We understand that it is very important to have that relationship with God, to have that connection.
Yes.
Getting it through your quiet time, your worship or whatever. But just tell us how important it is to have that connection, so that when or if it hits somebody else's life, that they will have something that they can pull on other than the tangible.
Well, you have to know God and know that He's always going to keep you. Knowing and trusting, you have to trust God, no matter what people may say, because even with sometimes you have to turn a deaf ear to people, because depending on what your situation is, they can make you feel worse. Trust God no matter what you hear,
right?
Even with the doctors, trust God.
Wow.
Have that relationship with Him and know when He's talking to you, and He'll guide you. He'll guide you where you need to go, but you have to be in with Him so He can lead you down the right path.
Right.
So trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not unto your own understanding.
That's good.
In all your ways, acknowledge Him, and He's going to direct your path.
Yes.
He's going to direct your path. So He's going to direct you and guide you and get you through the process of where you need to go.
Wow.
It is the truth.
It is the truth.
And he even had people in place for you to call
Yep.
that had already, dealt with the situation.
Yes.
So, wow.
To God be the
Yeah.
glory.
To God be
Hey,
the glory.
Pastor Darren.
Yeah.
I
Hi,
love it.
Darren.
That is amazing to me. When you talked about how the purpose will be revealed, like you may not know it when you're going through it,
Right.
but it will be revealed. And I'm always reminded of the story of Joseph. And when Joseph had to go through everything from the pit, his brothers doing all that they did, him going from the pit, then going to Potiphar's house, and then the wife lying on him. Then he's now in prison. And eventually he comes before Pharaoh and tells Pharaoh, interprets the dreams. And then he finds himself in the place where he is literally next to Pharaoh.
Right.
And so then, his brothers have to come back to him and have to say they needed food, but they didn't recognize him.
They didn't recognize him.
And so he recognized them, though.
Exactly.
But at the end of the story, when he told who he was and, he revealed himself and his father died, his brothers began to say, surely Joseph is going to kill us now.
Right.
Because dad is dead and now you're going to get us back for what we did to you. But he said to them, and I thought it was the most powerful thing, you meant it for evil, but God meant it to save some. And so his purpose was revealed at that moment, because he needed to be in that place, in that position, so that the children of Israel would be fed, because there was a famine in the land.
Right.
So the Lord did it so he could save his people.
Yes.
And so there is a purpose to everything that we're going through. When we're going through it doesn't feel good when you're going through it, but there's a purpose at the end of it. So we just encourage you on tonight, whatever you may be going through, there is a purpose to whatever state you may find yourself in.
Yes.
God will be glorified through it. Allow him to be. Claudette, your story is powerful.
Yes.
The fact that people under 50 are now able to get a colonoscopy.
Yes.
I wondered, because I got one about a year, 2 years ago, maybe.
Yes.
And I thought, wow, how did they, because I thought it was 50 and I'm not 50 yet.
Right.
And it was so great that I did it because they found 3 polyps.
Yes.
And he said 2 of the 3 that they found were the kind that could cause cancer. And so, thank you. Thank you.
To God be the glory.
To God be the glory.
God be the glory. Yes.
Wow. So they were able to take it out and, no problem.
Yes.
But thank you. There is purpose.
Purpose.
Yeah.
God means it to save some.
Yes.
So to God be the glory. Thank you. Thank you. Claudia, there are so many comments on tonight. You're going to have to go back and read the comments because there are so many. people are just celebrating with you
And I thank
praising
you.
God,
Thank
you know, for what He has done. And so
Yes.
thank you for coming. Thank you for
problem.
sharing your
Thank
story.
you
This
so
is going to
much.
bless somebody. Guys, share it. Send it to somebody's inbox. Tell them to listen to this story to encourage their hearts with whatever they may be going through. It may be a doctor's report. It may be something else, but God can turn that thing
God
around.
can turn it around
And
and make it for your good.
and
Yep.
make it for your good. And the
Yep.
fact that not only did He heal you, but He took care of
He
you while
took
you
care
were
of
going
me.
through.
Yes, He did.
That is powerful
Yes,
to me.
He did. Yes, He did.
You didn't
Thank
miss
you,
a
Lord.
beat.
Thank you,
And
God.
I'm inclined to believe that everybody that played a part in your journey, that God's going to do something special for
Gonna
them
do
as
something
well.
special.
Yes,
Yeah.
Because
yes,
they really
Yeah.
did a good job, from
Yeah.
the church family to my family
yes,
to
yes,
friends to my job.
yes.
If they did
Bless
one,
them, Lord.
they
Bless
did
them
Yes,
indeed.
yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, and I want to thank you too for the platform. I think this is wonderful, giving people opportunity to tell their testimonies, because, like you said, you never know who you are helping.
That's right.
This is a wide variety of people,
Right.
even with the replay. And I just thank you two for giving everyone that opportunity.
To God be the
Yes.
glory.
Yes.
Absolutely. To God be the glory.
Yes, yes, yes.
Guys, thank you.
Shaquille said, I'm so proud of you, Mommy.
Thank you,
And Kiki
Shaquille.
said, love you, Mommy.
Love you back, Key.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ramona said she love you.
Love everyone. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yep.
your mama says she is so proud of you. She said she thought you were going to be bashful. She done came out that shell. I love it. I love it.
Good. God has been too
Yes.
good.
To God be the glory. Guys, thank you all for watching with us on tonight. I am so in debate about next week because I really, I have somewhere I want to go on Tuesday, but we're going to see. It's not about me though. So we'll be back on Tuesday. To God be the glory. We'll be back.
PJ said you left out your son.
I'm sorry, PJ. I love you. I
PJ.
love you.
You know what?
My
That
man
is
right there.
exactly
My
right.
man right there.
We love PJ, the baddest drama now. I'm
Yeah.
telling you
Yeah.
what.
Yeah. Yeah.
Blesses my entire soul all the time. And when Kale posts those videos, I be saying, look at PJ. He praising him with his
Yes,
I
sir.
love it. I love it.
Yes.
Guys, thank you all for watching. We'll be back with another powerful testimony. The month of March is Women's History Month. And so we have so many things in store for the month of March. I'm super excited. Couch Conversation is coming back in March.
You don't want to miss it.
We are doing that starting on a Thursday in March. That's coming up. More information. We are interviewing some powerful women of God in the month of March. We want to highlight some women in ministry that I love, love, love. So please look out for that. Coming up real soon. And there is a conference. Let me look this up, because I just when I tell you I'm excited about this conference.
About it.
There is a conference coming up March the 16th, 17th, and 18th. It is in Wilson, North Carolina, an hour from here. It is not far at all. And it is called the GOTI, the Gathering of the Intercessors Conference. And the person that is hosting this conference is Pastor LaToya Brewington. And I don't know if you all have, some I know have heard of Pastor LaToya, but if you have not heard of her, she is one of the baddest word preachers that I know. Wow. You know, you have some preachers that they can prophesy and give you a good prophecy, but I'm talking about straight word. Wow. She can prophesy too, but I love the word. And so if you can tell me something that I hadn't read myself, you done excited my whole everything. And so Pastor LaToya is hosting the Gathering of the Intercessors Conference, and she has evangelist Rebecca Joseph from Charlotte, North Carolina. She has Imani Rayford from right in Raleigh, North Carolina. And you talking about a millennial that is on fire for God. She is an amazing, amazing young lady. She also has Prophetess Barbara Calloway. Wow. Woo! Lord, she's another one of my favorites. I'm telling you. She comes from the Potter's House North in Texas, Dallas, Texas. And she has Bishop Nate Jefferson from Columbia, South Carolina. So her herself, she's doing Morning Glory on the 18th. So guys, let me tell you, conferences are, I'm excited. I just tell you, if you don't have anything to do, register. The night services are free. It is only a $50 registration. It is so worth it because I'm telling you, I have heard not all of the preachers, but the majority of them, and they are some amazing word preachers, not just the prophetic word, but the word. And that is key because the word is what's going to stand and last. Right. And so I encourage you. She ain't even asked me to do this, know anything, but if you have not registered, if you don't know anything about it, I'll inbox you, just reach out to me. I'll send you the information. But you don't want to miss it. I am excited. I've registered a long time ago. So I'm ready. So anyway, that is it for tonight, guys. To God be the glory. Join us. Look for upcoming things that are coming. Yes, Dr. Dixon. I had to put it in there because I'm telling you, it is going to be something else, and I am ready and excited for it. All right. Good night, guys. We have her mom is coming too in the month of March too. So the Queen of Praise that they call her. Everyone calls her the Queen of Praise. But we have Apostle Shirley Johnson who will be joining us soon too. So in the month of March. So we are super excited about that too. To God be the glory. Good night, everyone. We love you. Good night.